Hi everyone, welcome back to my knitting channel where I'm talking about, of course, knitting. Today we are winding some yarn to take to my trip. I'm going to Copenhagen and I wanna take you with me. I wanna show you a little bit of sightseeing, a little bit of some yarn shops, and I don't have huge plans for buying something yarn related, but we'll see what happens because I have several yarn stores added on the map and probably I will buy something, but I don't have big plans. So without further ado, let's dive into trip.
Hi from Copenhagen. I hope you can hear me well because I forgot to take my microphone, but I want to share a bit with you in my summer plans. Probably you heard if you saw it that I have some problems with knitting my Cumulus blouse and I want to take to my trip my trouser bag, but I decided to make some changes and took with me my Cumulus blouse. It's over here. So it's extremely fluffy, really, like one of the most fluffiest things that I have, probably. It looks like this. It has right now 2 sleeves and 10-ish, 15, probably closer to 15 centimeters of the body, and I want to knit only this because I took only this with me to my trip. So let's see if it's possible to, not sure to finish, absolutely not sure about finishing it, but at least what I can knit in these 2 days in Copenhagen, and let's see how things will go with shopping. Decided to try it on and to show you a bit how it looks on me, and definitely that's a scene that really inspires me to finish this blouse because it looks really cute. I don't know, I don't have a lot of pinkish clothes, and this adds a bit of pinky gray color, and I really love how it looks. I don't have any edging over here right now. Done? Probably you can see it like this better. I don't have any edging like for the neck, and it's not too see-through, while I'm using one strand of suri silk and one strand of 301, so it's not too, you know, like it's not like 2 strands of soft silk mohair, but it's still not see-through at all, and it's so fluffy and cozy, and I like how it looks with my hair. Hope we could finish it soon, but I don't know what happened, why I don't have a lot of like mental power to knit it. This is my last skein of suri silk. I have a bit more left over from my second one because I've knitted. I used one skein of suri silk for the yoke, for the whole yoke, like half of the sleeve, part of the sleeves, plus full yoke, and a bit of the body, like this part of the body. And as you can see, I don't need like this, and maybe plus 5, like maybe 20 centimeters or so to finish. For the yarn consumption, I used the whole one skein, more than like probably I have left like quarter, like three quarter of second one, and this is my third ball. I decided to take a new one and not to take that one because I wasn't sure that I'll have enough yarn for today, for 2-3 days. But as for 301, I have like these leftovers because I didn't want to to wind them back. If you hear my previous videos where I share about this yarn 301, it's a bit annoying to knit sometimes, so I'm rewinding them into cakes and using like that. Maybe if you have problems with this yarn, it will help you.
So in meanwhile, I want to share you some thoughts about 3 stores that I visited. The first one was Uldstedet. I'm not sure that I'm pronouncing it correctly. It has, like the most amazing amount of guepard and the biggest choice I've ever seen of this yarn. Finally have an opportunity to touch and feel how wild and soft feels. I definitely need a sweater from it or a cardigan, something like that. And I now finally understand why so many people tell about Vulia by Guepard. It's definitely extremely soft, fluffy, and that blue, I don't know, I just want something in that bright blue. The next store that I visited was Knitting for Olive, and it's definitely worth visiting if you want to see all those beautiful patterns from their websites. You can touch all the yarn combinations. They can show you different combinations of yarn, like mohair plus wool, merino wool, how it look in different colors. And definitely Darling wrap will be living in my head rent-free because I need to knit it, and it's so beautiful. And the third shop that I visited, I even don't want to try to pronounce its name, but it was pretty cool, and I wanna highlight the blouse number 2 that I saw there, and I'm thinking about knitting it as well because it looks so beautiful even on a mannequin. I'm not sure that cotton is the best choice for this blouse, but if you have any recommendations, let me know in the comments below what I should use to knit blouse number 2. The next shop that I visited was Bruun Strik, and I highly recommend to visit it if you don't have a lot of time for yarn shopping, but you want to find a lot of different Scandinavian brand of yarn, because over here you can find a lot of cis-lining hair, hand-dyed yarn, a lot of Rauma, Gepard, Isire, and so on. So definitely highly recommend. Plus they have a great amount of knitted garments, so you can choose if you enhance between some patterns, or you can even try on if you're not sure that something will suit you well. And the last yarn shop that I visited was Sommerfuglen, and it was a little bit unexpected visit because I didn't want to go to another yarn shop, but it was pretty close, so I decided to give it a try. And it was one of the most crowded yarn shops that I've ever seen, you know, like I've never seen so crowded yarn shops, even in Copenhagen during this trip. It was one of the most crowded. And over here you can find a lot of different yarn brands. The lighting not so great, but you can take some yarn to try how it looked like on the street and come back to the shop and not forget pay for it. And also there is a lot of different buttons, and in case you wanna try some embroidery, you can find some thread and other stuff for this hobby as well. So highly recommend. And definitely if you don't know what to do in Copenhagen yarn related, I can recommend you visiting Bruun Strik as a yarn shop with a lot of different yarns and big yarn choice. And Knitting for Olive, just because they have a huge shelf of different knitted garments from their patterns, and probably it's hard to find their patterns needed on other shops. So highly recommend to visit. There, it's second day in Copenhagen, and I wanna share with you some updates regarding the Cumulus blouse. It's finally moving. Yesterday I've joined the yarn, and I joined it like here, so you can see. This is like 10-ish centimeters or something like that. So it's moving, and definitely I'm not gonna finish it till tomorrow, till I have in the middle of the day flight back to home, and I'm not sure that I'll to Warsaw, not to home, and I'm not sure that I'll finish it till that, but still we have some time to go. Really I like how this yarn looks in finished garments, but it's terrible to knit with even after you wind it. I want to share what I'm currently wearing. It's slightly hard to do over here because if I try to film it with using my mirror, it will be a problem because the windows are on the back and everything won't be great. So I'm trying to do something like trying to show you everything when the phone is staying on the window. We'll see how it happens. So I'm wearing my Done to Stop. It's one of my recently finished summer garments, and I'm wearing it with a tee because it's finally evening and it's getting a bit chilly. So I decided to change, and I'm wearing this top because I really like how it looks when you layering it with a t-shirt underneath. I find the way to show you what I'm wearing right now. A bit awkward look with bathroom. this final chapter of this video, you can finally see that I'm done with my Cumulus blouse. It finally happened. You saw how I was working on it during my trip. Then I come back home, knitted like additional 5 centimeters. Then I made an I-cord at the bottom of the sweater. Then I added this beautiful neck and blocked it, and I'm finally wearing it. So definitely the trip helped me to finish it. You know, like I just needed to push a bit to finish it, and we have it done. I have slightly feeling that my my left sleeve is slightly longer and just slightly bigger than the right one, but I think that only I can find this issue. No one else can find it, so probably it's not an issue, to be honest. Regarding my cat is doing something strange as usual. Regarding some additional information about this pattern and something that I've changed. So the pattern recommends to do an I-cord with the same needle size as you're using for the main fabric, but I sized up for the main fabric to, I think, 5mm needles to achieve the gauge, and I decided to get smaller needle, which is 4mm needle, to have it like to do all the edging. For the I-cord I used smaller needle because I tried to do with the same one as the main fabric, but it wasn't so neat as I want to have it. Like you can see, I will add some b-rolls over here so you can see how it looks. So I decided to go down with the needle size, and it looks much better for me, with the fact that it's slightly, you know, like it's not the most smallest I-cord that you are knitting, so probably it's worth sizing down. And the same with hem and over here. As for the creases for the I-cord, I've done them like each 5. No, not each 5. It was a random amount of stitches that I've knitted, like knitted 3 together instead of 2 together. For the I-cord, like it was really X amount of stitches, you know. It was like, seems that I need to decrease a bit more. Probably that's the reason why my sleeves a bit different, but I don't know how to show you that they're different. No, it's not so big the issue. And as for the fabric, I've used 301 by Isager with Suri lace by Olivia and Oliver fiber. This is hand-dyed Suri silk, and it gives perfect fabric. It's not too warm as 2 strands of silk hair, but it's still quite warm. I've tried to wear it today to the office. I'm slightly cold in the office usually, so I'm wearing this like on my over my shoulders to go to the office. And in the office I wear it, and when I'm coming back home I'm not wearing this. So it's like you're wearing your needs but not wearing your needs, something like that. And it's so soft, it's extremely soft, and it looks like my cat. It has the same softness as she has. And to sum it up and to sum all my trip, I want to share with you that I bought only these 3 skeins of yarn. Can you believe? I was in Copenhagen. I was in, probably for me this is the biggest amount of yarn shops that I ever visited in 2 days. There are like a lot of them, and I visited just 4 or 5, I think 5. I planned to visit only 3, but then you're like walking through the city, and you see like, oh, it's yarn shop, I need to go there. It was like that. Not all of them were planned, and I bought only these 3 guys. I don't know how I managed to do it, probably because I was traveling only with my backpack and I didn't have a lot of space, but these guys came with me. And I want to cast on light loop sweater by other loops to have something like this, like Cumulus blouse, but with boucle, just to layer it a bit, like to add a light layer that is pretty light to wear. I don't know how about you, but like woolly wool sweaters, they feel about a bit, like too sturdy to wear them when it's warm outside. Even if you're in the cold office, I don't know, like sensory-wise, it feels a bit too much. That's why I have a feeling that this guy and in future this guy will be really helpful for me to go to the office and not to be too cold but still be cozy and comfy. And I like this color. This is Yarh boucle. It's undyed version because how to understand whether the color dyed or undyed in Yarh, if you see this, like, let's call it natural paper, it's not black. When it's not black, it means that the color is undyed. Maybe I came up by myself with it, but I see the same with alpaca one and the same with Eco Soft. Like soft, yeah, the yarn that's called soft has a black, like they have paper black one, and this one has like natural undyed, so probably it's undyed. And it doesn't smell like sheep, surprisingly. This is 100% alpaca, 50 grams and 175 meters, and I really hope that it won't be too itchy. Right now it doesn't feel like that, but sometimes surprisingly I can be a bit sensitive to alpaca, while alpaca lace doesn't irritate me. We'll see, I need to try it. So sorry for this rambling after working day. I hope that you really enjoyed watching this video and that you're quite happy as me with finished blouse number 1 by Petite Knit, and I hope to see you next time with my episode of the podcast where I will tell you a bit more about blouse number 1 and everything that's currently in progress. I hope that during that time I'll start the dress and I will share you a bit more on my dress journey. See you! Have a nice day!